And now it's time for
a tiny bite
of knowledge.
You know, Sarah, I've been trying to buy one of those USBs that has roots on it.
Roots on your memory sticks? What? I only root my memory sticks in the USB port on the computer. What do you mean, the root? One of the most popular questions that we get from people that we are sending prescriptions to is, what is the root of the USB? We need to explain why this is a big issue.
Yeah, it's a super common question, and it's a really important question because the root of a USB is oftentimes what a monitor is looking for when they're looking for prescriptions. And so if you have a monitor that you're trying to get prescriptions onto and it's looking at the root of a USB for those prescriptions and they're not there, that's a problem. So in order to get around this problem, we have to talk about and we have to know.
We need to get to the root of the problem is.
We need to get to the root of the problem. So Sarah, what exactly is the root of a USB drive or the root of any drive?
When you open up a drive on your screen, on your window, there should be like no folders, no files, nothing there. It's just like a blank white screen. That's it.
Perfect. So like, for example, when I plug in USB drives into my computer and I go to like my computer, I often see like my C drive, which is like my Windows drive, or if I plug in a USB drive, it oftentimes is my F or a G or an H drive. And so what the root of that is, when I click onto that USB drive F, that first folder, that just blank space of me opening the top of that drive is the root of the USB drive.
That's correct. Now, with GK technology, when we are exporting out prescriptions, we've got a manual, and in the manual we've got this chart, and it helps us understand how to export to different monitors. One of the things that we talk about is where those prescriptions need to be located on that USB so the controller can find them. That controller is going to look at a specific file structure to find them. Sometimes those prescriptions need to be within a folder named specifically. For example, with John Deere, if you're going out with a USB, it needs to be in a folder labeled RX. If it's not labeled in that, it doesn't work. If it's on a case monitor and it's a shapefile, it needs to be in a folder called shapefile with no capitals. That's how this works. Then those controllers can search through those folders and find them. But there are a number of monitors out there that say the prescription files should be placed directly on the root of the USB. That means no folder, no nothing, just put them straight on the USB.
Just like Sarah mentioned, sometimes a specific controller might start looking for prescriptions in a folder. And so you might need to title that folder, like Sarah said, shapefile, if it's on Case IH Pro 700 or Pro 1200. So thinking back to the ADMS manual that Sarah mentioned before too, you might find that it's telling you to write a prescription to a specific folder or something that says like VRC /. So what does that / mean? What that / mean is just that title of the folder is VRC, and then inside of that folder is where you should be placing the prescription. So using the specific example of like writing a prescription to a John Deere monitor, oftentimes what you'll do is you'll create a folder that says RX, and then you'll open the folder and put the prescription in there. So what the / means in that is just that that's a folder. You don't need to put / in the title. You just need to place the file inside of that.
As a matter of fact, most of the time when you're naming anything in computers, using / marks gets really dangerous because that's what you do is you create files and folders.
So don't put a / in.
You should never use special characters for naming anything. You can use numbers, you can use letters, and you can use dashes. But that's about it. So, did we get to the root of the issue?
I think so. I think we talked about the most important root, the root of our USB drives.
Hopefully, once our prescriptions are placed there, all of our controllers will be able to find them. Just like roots in fertile soil.
Tune in next time for a tiny bite of knowledge from GK Technology,
where we have a map
and an app for that.
And there's different pronunciations too.
Root.
Root.
Rut.
Let the geeks at GK Technology help you with your agricultural data. Their agronomists know agriculture. When it comes to creating soils and zone maps to maximize yields in your fields, you can trust the people with decades of experience in site-specific agriculture. Everyone at GK Technology has a background in agriculture, so they know what makes a farm run, and they speak your language. The geeks at GK Technology have a map and an app for that.